we're going to go on the record in the matter of Robert Muckenthaler, 232161. And counsel, your appearance, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Christopher Shemke, appearing on behalf of my client. This time we consent to the matter being heard via Zoom.
All right, thank you. Mr. Muckenthaler, your name for the record, please. Unmute and state your name for the record, please.
Can you hear me?
I can, yes. Your name, please.
Robert Muckenthaler.
All right, Mr. Muckenthaler is on probation for operating while visibly impaired. He was sentenced in January of 2024, and it's alleged that he tested positive for cocaine on July 24th and alcohol, positive for alcohol on August 6th, and positive for alcohol on August 14th. And counsel?
Your Honor, I had an opportunity to have a dialogue with my client, and at this point, he will not be contesting those tests. I gave him his options regarding a hearing in which we could have individuals come in and have to testify as to the nature of the testing and what it reflected. That being said, I would ask for an opportunity to allocute on his behalf.
All right, sir. Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear from the testimony you're about to give this matter to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I swear. I do.
You heard the plea and the allegations that were placed on the record, correct, sir?
Yes.
And as to the allegations, sir, how do you plead?
I can't really contest it.
So, Robert, you have an option. You can say, if you're not contesting it, you'll be pleading guilty. If you want to say not guilty, then we'll have a hearing. Those are your options today.
I mean, I can't prove that I didn't is the thing. So I guess I'm stuck.
Your Honor, I don't want my client to feel stuck. I'd ask this matter be set down for a hearing. We don't want to be in a position where he feels that he's being maneuvered. He has options, but if he has ambiguity, perhaps he needs a hearing.
So, Mr. Muckenthaler, do you want a hearing or do you want to proceed?
Man, I've never touched a drug, and I don't know how that got in there. I won't even take my anxiety medication because I don't do it.
Okay. So we're going to set this for an in-person hearing. And in addition to cocaine, sir, it's also alleged there's alcohol in your system all 3 times that these violations are alleged to have occurred. So what the court's going to do is the court's going to enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. We will set this for a hearing. We'll do an in-person hearing.
Your Honor, if it's easier, I don't have any objection to the testing facility appearing via Zoom. It doesn't matter to me. That makes it easier for them, understanding that myself and my client will be in person.
Okay, do you want the testing facility that captured the sample or the lab that analyzed the sample?
Your Honor, court's discretion on how they typically proceed. I don't have a preference, whatever the normal protocol is.
Well, it depends on what the issue is. Is the issue that the collection was flawed, or is the issue contesting what was in the sample?
Contesting what was in the sample. I see no reason to contest that the sampling taking was flawed on 3 separate occasions.
Okay, so then the lab would need to be present then. Okay, so you are in person, you're back on the 3rd and the 10th council, but you're not necessarily in person. You're in person on the 16th.
16th is Thursday.
I'm sorry.
If it works for the court.
The 16th, and we'll do 11 a.m. because the lab needs to be present and they're 3 hours behind us. So, did you say the 16th did work for you?
Yes, Your Honor, it does.
Okay, and the court's going to order a $5,000 personal bond, and as a bond condition, the court's going to order an alcohol tether.
$5,000 bond.
It's a personal bond. Means you don't have to post me money. You're fine.
Okay.
Sir, if you were to test right now, what's in your system?
I I can't test right now. There is no drugs in my system. I don't do drugs.
Sorry, that wasn't my question.
Oh, nothing. You know what? Maybe a beer, maybe. But there
Okay.
shouldn't be anything. There's nothing in my system. I mean, I don't do drugs.
Sir, you are currently on probation for operating while visibly impaired, correct?
Correct.
One of this court's conditions that it ordered was you were not to possess or consume any alcohol or drugs that are not prescribed. I'm fairly certain you don't have any physician that's prescribing you beer.
Correct.
So, sir, the answer to the question, if you are in full compliance with probation, should have been nothing. Nothing is in my system. But you're still using alcohol, sir, and you're not permitted to do that.
No, what I drink Heineken 0 alcohol. And if that's messing with my system, it says alcohol free right on it. That's the only thing I can think of that is messing with my test.
It may say alcohol free, but look at the ingredients. It does contain alcohol.
I did. It says 0% alcohol. That's the only
Actually,
one
it
I could
contains
find.
less than, just for clarification, it contains less than 0.03 alcohol by volume. So depending on the quantity that you're having, 0 alcohol beer still has a small trace amount of alcohol, which could test positive for alcohol. Just unwise to ingest that at all while on probation.
It said 0% alcohol free. So I just like mouthwash is alcohol free.
Okay,
You know?
sir, we're going to help make sure that, what are you drinking right now?
Pepsi Cola.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, the court's going to order you to have an alcohol tether as a condition of your bond, because you won't be back for 3 more weeks. So contact into Ms. Shine to get the information regarding your alcohol tether, sir.
Okay. Yeah, I don't mind because I haven't been drinking. I haven't drank since January. I haven't consumed alcohol. I drink a couple of those with like a burger and some wings or something because it says alcohol free.
Okay. Well, make sure you're emailing into her by 10:30, sir. Contacting her by 10:30 so you can get set up with that, okay?
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Go!
Will you hand me my scream box?
Now go. Freak.
We're on the record in the matter of Gary Miller, Don Miller versus Paula Persuza, 2401221. And Mr. Miller, your name for the record, please.
Gary Gerard Miller.
Okay. And Miss Miller, your name for the record, please.
She's upstairs working. You need me to bring her down?
Yes, I stated when I checked you both in, she's a named plaintiff, so I need her to be on the record. Ms. Pristula, your name for the record, please. Please unmute. I requested you to unmute. I just sent you. There we go.
I apologize.
She's here right now, Your Honor.
No, I'm here. Sorry.
Okay, ma'am, I need to see you, please.
Morning.
Good morning. Your name, please, for the record.
Oh, my name's Dawn Miller.
All right, thank you. And Ms. Pristula, your name for the record, please.
Paula Pristula.
All right, and so today's the date scheduled for a hearing in this matter, and you all were in a breakout room. Was there any resolution?
No.
Did you all discuss anything while you were in the breakout room?
No, we didn't, Your Honor.
Okay, I placed you all in a breakout room to see if there was any resolution, and I stated that ahead of time. And none of you spoke to each other regarding a possible resolution.
Everything that I have to say has already been said in the past to her. She knows where she stands with me.
I do, Your Honor.
Okay, we're going to have all 3 of you please raise your right hands. Do you all solemnly swear from the testimony you're about to give this matter the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Mr. Miller.
I do.
Miss Miller.
I do.
Pristula.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and so Mr. Miller, you're asking for Ms. Pristula to relocate, correct?
Could you repeat that, please?
You're asking for Ms. Pristula to relocate.
Yes.
Okay, does she owe money or you are merely seeking possession?
There's a couple of issues. She's behind on rent by $4,000. I've given her about all the slack I can with anybody. I haven't raised rents. My rents are extremely low, what the normal is. I've changed due dates for her. I've done pretty much all I can for her. It's not only the fact that she owes me that money. She has not been taking care of the property. I got a phone call from Randy Miller on Saturday that the house was tagged for lack of maintenance to the yard. I had to leave where I was at to come home and take care of that on Sunday. I also have a situation with the bathroom over at the house because she failed to use the shower curtain around the entire shower area. I have a rotted window, rotted molding, rotted floor, and 2 walls that have rot on them. There's mold on the ceiling, and it's just not a very safe environment. On top of that, she has pulled down the smoke detectors that are interconnected in the house. If there's a fire, the gentleman upstairs is at risk. I asked her to replace those, and they have not been replaced. I would like my possession of my property in order so I can start collecting rent and fix the place up in order to do that.
Okay, and so Mr. Miller, when was the last date that Ms. Pristula paid rent?
It was back in, I think, February.
And how much is the rent per month?
Rent's only $750.
And I don't know why, have you all been here before?
Yes, we were.
Yeah.
She was behind $14,000. The COVID relief fund allowed that to happen. I was very fortunate that day that somebody from the state heard my complaint and she took care of that. And that took care of Paula's debts, but it's been a struggle since then, as you see. That was not too long ago.
Right, because I thought all the names were familiar. Ms. Pristula,
Yes.
okay, do you agree that you owe $4,000?
I agree with that, but I don't agree with the other things.
Okay, well, separate from the other issues.
Yes.
$4,000 behind on rent.
Yes.
You served a notice to quit and you haven't relocated. Why not?
Because I don't have any place to go.
That's not Mr. Miller's responsibility, ma'am.
I understand that.
So, when were you served the notice to quit, ma'am?
The notice to quit is to move, right?
Yes.
I'm not really sure. It might have been a few weeks ago.
Okay, and I'm going to presume that there were some conversations since February regarding your non-payment and that you would have to move out, correct?
Well, there wasn't a conversation. I just received a paper in my door.
Okay, so what steps have you taken to relocate?
Well, I've been looking for a place, and I'm having a hard time finding a place that I can afford. I just recently got a job here around the corner. I mean, I know it's too late, but I don't have a vehicle, so I needed to find something local. And I did, but I know it's too late.
And why don't you have a vehicle?
Because it was in an accident and it was totaled. It wasn't my fault, but
And so where did you get a job at, ma'am?
it's called Family Mart. It's right around the corner from me. It used to be Circle K.
Okay, and so how long has it been since you've worked, ma'am?
Before this, it's been 8 years. I was waiting on a decision for disability, and it was denied.
And so how have you been supporting yourself since you haven't been working, ma'am?
I haven't had anything until I got this job.
Okay, so Mr. Miller was kind enough to allow you to move into a home when you didn't have any income and you were able to reside there when you weren't paying rent to the tune of $14,000, whereby that was resolved. And now you're behind another $4,000. So I'm not really sure at what point you are of the thought process that somebody else should be paying for your rent.
No, I understand that. I'm sorry, Judge. I just honestly just stuck in a place where I have nothing and I just don't know what to do.
Well, Ms. Pristula, I can understand that, but that is not Mr. and Ms. Miller's responsibility.
Yeah,
They have their own obligation to pay on the home, and when you're not making those payments, they have to make those payments.
yes, I understand.
So the court there's no legal basis for you to still remain in the home. There's not been anything alleged that would require this court to permit you to stay in the home, nor permit you to stay in the home past September 6th. Therefore, the court is going to enter a judgment on behalf of the plaintiff. And Mr. Miller, are you asking for the money back, or you just want possession?
I want possession of the place so I can fix it up first and then start getting rent from it.
All right, so the court's going. And you have until September 6th to relocate.
Okay. September 6th?
Yes, you have 10 days.
I can't have any longer than that?
Ma'am, Mr. and Ms. Miller would be the ones to permit that by agreement if they so chose to do that. You've been residing there for 6 months without making any payments for rent. I'm presuming, based upon what they've already stated, that they're not necessarily in the position to give you any more time. But Mr. Miller, I'll give you that opportunity to respond to that.
I've done all I can for her. It's been a struggle from the very beginning. So I just would like to take possession of my property. Something that I may have made mention before, maybe I didn't. I rely on the income from this house to pay my daughter's college tuition. So, without that, I have to dig into my savings for that. That's why I purchased this house, was for that reason. I need to start bringing in income from this house so I can take care of my expenses, as you already stated.
Oh, and sir, you have that right. You purchased the home, you and your wife purchased the home, and that was the intended purpose, to generate income for that purpose. And there was no reason why you shouldn't be able to do that. And so, ma'am, you have until September 6th, it's a week from Friday. So the court does.
I don't think I can be out by then.
And you don't have a choice. If you're not out, the court officer will be there to get you out, because that's presuming the Millers will be submitting a request for an application for eviction. The court will then sign the application for eviction, and then that gives the court officer legal authority to go and remove all of your belongings from the home.
Well, that's what I'm afraid of, is I've got a lot of belongings and I just don't know that I can get them all moved.
Well, ma'am, you've had notice. Was it a 30-day notice to quit or a 7-day notice to quit, Mr. Miller?
Your Honor, could I speak for a minute?
Well, I'm sorry, was there a 30-day notice or a 7-day notice, Mr. Miller?
I don't know what that means.
When you served the notice to quit, did you give her 30 days to move out before you filed this action, or 7 days?
It was a 7-day notice.
Okay, so 7-day notice, and then you have the notice on this matter. So, man, like you said, it's been a few weeks. So you could have been making those arrangements as to where you're going to move your items. And yes, Mr. Miller?
The day that Paula moved in, there were several family members that were there asking me questions and making sure I was the right person for her. I don't see why those people can't show up to help her move out too.
Well, it's a possibility, but ma'am, September 6th. So the court does find that after hearing that the plaintiff does have a right to recover possession of the property. If the defendant does not move out by September 6th, plaintiff may apply for an order evicting the defendant. Additional money may be owed if damage to property occurs or rent continues to accrue. No money judgment will be entered at this time. The court will sign that judgment and send that out. Anything else?
No, that's it, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Fucking days.
Ma'am, you're still on the record and you're still on Zoom. You might want to log off before you talk like that. Thank you.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I thought I did log out.
You're still on.
I know my screen is messed up here.
Okay, well here, I will just remove you. Got it. Have a good day.
Are you kidding me?
Oh my God.
You have got to be kidding me! What? What is going on today? This is a joke. This is a joke. Today is an absolute joke. We need an interpreter.
I need an interpreter when I cannot express myself sometimes.
Joke. Oh my God, sir, put that cigarette out. I don't give a crap that you are outside of your, this, what is wrong with everybody today? You know what, Miss Reed, we're gonna start bringing people in person. People are gonna learn how to act in a courtroom.
Can you hear it? Can you hear it? Ma'am?
No, today.
Ma'am? Can you hear it?
No.
Okay.
I have no patience for that. And trust me, out of the day, I'm sitting up here, I'm the one that needs a drink.